but I think it cured my schizophrenia.
Mental health.
Hello, welcome to Mental Health. This is Mental Health's Get Ranked, where I rank a band's albums from least favorite to most favorite. And today, I'm going to be ranking Into Eternity, which has been around for over 20 years now. They have 6 albums, so I'm going to be going from least favorite to most favorite, and let's see how this works out. Into Eternity's first album is what I'm going to put at the least favorite. It's self-titled, and yeah, all music and lyrics were written by Tim Roth, the main man, now the only original member of Into Eternity. I kind of like this reissue artwork though, because you know it's got like the baby that like fell in the pit, and he's having hallucinations there with seeing a face. And like there's people trying to lift the baby up out of the pit. That's my guess. But yeah. So with this album, I'm kind of biased because I've been listening to Into Eternity for 14 years, and this year was the first time listening to this album because it just got reissued on vinyl, and that's when I picked it up. Yeah. So yeah, it's to me it feels like Tim is carving a statue, and you can tell what the statue is. Like, you know it's progressive death metal, and with like awesome guitar work and everything, and with the clean vocals and guttural vocals. It's really cool. Like, you can tell what it is, but like it's not smoothed out like with the 5 albums to come after this. And the second album is their second album, Dead or Dreaming, and with this album, it's this is where Into Eternity becomes the Into Eternity that I know and love, and yeah, it's clean, aggressive, badass, but beautiful. That's what I'd say. With this album, they in the following 4 is where it really gets tough to make decisions here, because it's like splitting hairs, basically. The album art is cool on this one. You know, you got the crow there. You know, and he's on a cross, tombstone kind of thing. Like, will Eric Draven pop out of this? I don't know. What's gonna happen? Who knows? You know. And yeah, but on the slip inside, you got a picture of the band, and there's Tim. You know, crouching, wearing an Iced Earth shirt, you know, which is a little foreshadowing of what will happen to next vocalist they get. Yeah, so that's cool. Yeah, so Dead or Dreaming, fantastic album. I really like it. I love all these albums, otherwise I wouldn't have them. Number 3, which is their 4th album, The Scattering of Ashes. Great album. First album with Stu Block on vocals. Came out in 2006, which was a big year for them touring-wise, because they were on a tour, the Gigant Tour, number 2, with Overkill, Arch Enemy, Opeth, Lamb of God, and of course, Megadeth. You know, I know because I was there. Yeah. And the next year they did another great tour with Dream Theater. I know because I was there. Like, honestly, so good. This album brings me right back to when I was 19. Because that's how old when I first started listening to it. Yeah. What can I say here? This album, it's great musically, lyrically. Vocals, it's awesome. It's got it all. It's a well-rounded album, 100%. Like I said here, deciding on which of these albums I like better, it's like splitting hairs. They're so close, and I'm sure like you can leave comments and be like, I think you're wrong about this, but these are my opinions, and that's yeah. What can I say? Number 4, which is their sixth album, Into Eternity here. Yeah, this album came out in 2018 after years of dealing with record label scum. That's how I'll put it, anyways. Yeah, this album, there was like 10 years in between albums, so yeah. Um, the Amanda Kiernan, you know I'm terrible with names, hopefully that's right, replaced Stu Block after Stu Block got picked up to do vocals for Iced Earth. So that's awesome for Stu, and they're still friends. Stu did some background vocals on this. Yeah, they're still friends, even though like he did those vocals like 9 years ago, 10 years ago. I don't know, but yeah. So the first time I listened to this album, to me, like it had been like a decade since a new Into Eternity album came out, and it felt like all the songs were just kind of jumbled together, you know, like yeah, but it wasn't as smooth of an album as some of the ones in the past. But for me, what makes this album in the top 3 is the song Fringes of Psychosis. Being a schizophrenic, recovering drug addict who's been in psychosis, you know, that song just really hits me in the feels now that I'm clean and I can feel feelings, you know. Yeah, it brings tears to my eyes sometime. I love it, and any music that can make you feel emotion like that, it's got to be up there for you. And that this song and this album does it for me. Yeah, cool artwork. You got the pirate ship there. What looks like Amanda as a pirate, and yeah, it's called the Sirens. I'll talk about the little Into Eternity emblem or trademark thingy. I don't know what you want to call it. But it's got the angel who's in like an upside down crescent moon thing, and that's cool. I've got it tattooed on my metal arm. It looks terrible, but yeah. And when I put my arm up, it's upside down. So it could have been thought out better, but those 10 years that this album didn't come out, a lot of things that I've done could have been thought out better. So it is what it is. Number 5, my second favorite album by Into Eternity is Buried in Oblivion. Yeah. What can I say about this album? It's just so good. The songs are so good. Like the what song? Beginning of the End. The vocal harmonies and that you just can't help but sing along to. For your soul. So good. Like, yeah, I love this album. It was the one that took me the longest to get on vinyl, but yeah, Discogs is pretty awesome. We'll put it that way. But yeah, really love this album. Don't worry, Tim Roth. When you get buried in oblivion one day, you're gonna leave a long-lasting legacy. And yeah, love this album. Yeah. The album artwork, you know, we're bringing back the Crow. This time he's on a shovel, you know, putting the grave back together after Eric Draven hopped out. I don't know. And then you got all the gargoyles and stuff. It's pretty darn cool. Yeah, love this album. Last but certainly not least is the 5th album by Into Eternity, The Incurable Tragedy. This is a concept album all about being diagnosed with a terminal illness like cancer. It was inspired after 2 of Tim's best friends, who were brothers, I believe, and his father died of cancer. Also at the time, Stu's mom was diagnosed with cancer. This album is pure emotion. Like you can pretty much hear Tim's tears hitting the strings. Everyone has dealt with someone in their life being diagnosed with cancer and going through that. And if you listen to this album, it'll probably help you get you through it. It's helped many people get through that situation. Stu Block, in the first interview I did, he said that he still gets emails to this day talking about how much this album has helped the person through their life. And I'm sure Tim Roth does as well. This album's dear to my heart, and I think it's dear to a lot of people's hearts. Yeah, one of the best times I saw Into Eternity, only because I got to be like pretty much on the rail, was when they were opening for Iced Earth. I was at the Phoenix here in Toronto. That was a great show. The only bad thing was Tim couldn't make it to the date, and they had to get a guitarist from New York, I believe it was, to replace him. It was a great show. It was after this album came out, and great show. That's where I bought the Fuck Cancer shirt, and maybe one day if I lose some weight again, I'll be able to fit back into it because I still have it. But yeah, this is my favorite Into Eternity album, straight up. And that was Metal Health's Get Ranked. I hope you enjoyed it. As of right now, there's only like 2 other bands that I can do all the albums like this, because I only have all of the Woods of Ypres albums and all the Death albums. I need more albums, is what I'm trying to say. That case is not full enough in the back. Okay, all right. Thank you for tuning in to Metal Health. Get Ranked.